Hey, what's up, sports fans? It's your boy, Sean, with the F What You Heard podcast and YouTube channel. Look up my videos. I spit the straight fire, give it to you raw every time. So, this past weekend was Super Wild Card weekend. 6 games, three of them turned out basically how we thought they would, and three didn't. So I'm just going to go over the scores and do a quick recap and then tell you or rank the quote unquote kind of the other three wins on kind of shock value based on who won, why they won, and I'll give you a litany of reasons why. So we had the Colts and Bills. That kind of went the way we planned or the way most people thought. The Bills played well all year long. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs hooked up a couple times. They played really well. The Colts defense played pretty good, kept them in the game. And Old Man Rivers tried to pull off a victory, but a little too little, too late. So the Saints and Bears, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a blowout, but the Bears defense kept them in the game. Not enough weapons and pieces around Mitchell Trubisky if he's going to be the quarterback going forward to get the job done. So there's a lot of questions to be answered in Chicago from the head coach to the quarterback and pieces around them. The defense is playing pretty good. They probably need a couple pieces on the defensive side. I'm going to have to do some more research, come back to you and talk to you about maybe the Chicago Bears and what they need going forward. But get those answers. In my opinion, for the offensive side of the ball, and then they may be in the running for like the fourth or fifth best team in the NFC. So maybe Chicago can turn it around next year. We'll see. And then the other ball game that went as expected was the Buccaneers versus Washington. Washington exceeded expectations. Taylor Heineke played well. But again, I knew they were outgunned from the jump. They kept it kind of close to begin with, but the attrition going up and down the field. Brady was getting the ball out of his hand lightning quick. I thought they should have gone to a 5 defensive lineman kind of front and see what kind of pass rush that they can generate. The 4 down lineman wasn't getting it done. They were picking up the blitz, but maybe a 5 down lineman kind of set constantly throughout the game. I don't even believe I saw Ryan Kerrigan in the game. He might have came in the game, but I really don't even remember it. So he was a non-factor. Put those 4 down linemen, add Ryan Kerrigan to the mix. Maybe they could have got more pressure on Brady just with the down linemen versus trying to blitz him. He'll probably, Brady, he'll eat you alive with, if you blitz him. So, and he's got enough weapons to get the ball out of his hands really quick, from the running back to Godwin to Antonio Brown. Mike Evans played to a couple of tight ends. So he's got stacks and stacks and stacks of weapons on the offensive side to get the job done. So we'll see how they match up against the Saints. The Saints won 2 games in the same division, beat them twice. So we'll see how the Saints come back third time. It's always hard to beat a team 3 times. So we'll see if they can do it again. So now let's get to what I really want to focus on. is, again, the 3 wins that most people didn't expect. So I'll rank them again from the least shocking to the most shocking. So to me, the least shocking kind of upset win was the Ravens beating the Titans. So the past few years, regular season and postseason, the games have been tight. Lamar Jackson hasn't played well to get them over the hump. In this particular game, he struggled early on, had a bad pass for an interception, and then he righted the ship. He got himself together, made really good decisions, passing the ball, running the ball. The defense did an outstanding job. Not that the Titans are some juggernaut offensively, but just depending on the circumstances and how you play them, they can be. A wide receiver got nicked up and was out like the last few series of the game for Tennessee, so that hampered them as far as their offense. But Derrick Henry, couldn't even get started. And then, to me, Tennessee just doesn't have enough weapons to play, and stretch the field. They got, especially when one of the guys is nicked up. A.J. Brown is a phenomenal beast of a receiver, plays well. He was wide open on the interception towards the end of the game, and Tannehill just made the wrong read. So what are you going to do? Wasn't like he was under duress or something. He just made his mind up that that's where he was going. And so he's not a elite quarterback. So those are the decisions that you're going to have to live with when, you got Tannehill under center. So point blank. And Lamar made some phenomenal runs. They had him pinned in for the most part of the first quarter. Then he got loose in the second quarter, scored that 50-yard touchdown run that was like lightning in a bottle. And then from then on, they had too much confidence, too much swag, too much going on for Tennessee to combat and slow them down. They were clicking on all cylinders. And Lamar Jackson got his first playoff win. So kudos to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Even though, I'm a huge Steeler fan. Hate to see them win, but it is what it is. So on to the second most shocking game that I thought, and it was the LA Rams beating the Seahawks. So the question was going into the game, was Jared Goff going to play? He didn't start. Wolford started. Got immediately hammered, knocked out of the game. And in comes Jared Goff. Nobody knew how he was going to play, how he was going to do. And he did well. Did really, really well. Played so well that he put his team in position through the run game, play calling. Sean McVay did an outstanding job of mixing up run and pass, and kept the resurgent Seattle Seahawks defense guessing. So he kept them guessing the entire game. Once Goff came in, and they pretty much just stomped out any life. Once Russell Wilson had that pick six, they just stomped out any life that Seattle had. Seattle's not built correctly to play from behind and have big comebacks when they have a really good defense, and the Rams have a really good defense from their D-line. The linebacking core is pretty good, and then their cornerbacks are outstanding. So you try to let Russell cook, but he's hamstringed. He's handcuffed. He's cooking with one hand behind his back with the type of weapons that he has around him. Yes, DK Metcalf is a beast, but it shows that when you got good cornerbacks like Ramsey and the other guy, number 31, locking those guys down, great scheme for the Rams to put the clamps on those guys. And then you got a D-line to put pressure on Russell Wilson and get him down to the ground and not let him be effective with his feet. So kudos to the Rams, Jared Goff for coming off the bench with his broken thumb. Just had surgery like 11 or 12 days ago. So broken thumb, coming off the bench, getting the job done. And Seattle really needs to look at going forward, number one, first and foremost for Russell Wilson, to get him some more pass protection. Get him some more protection on that offensive line, because a lot of times he's just ducking and dodging for his life back there. So he's got some decent weapons. So offensive line, number one. Number two, look at a potential upgrade running back. The 2-3 running backs they got, they always stay nicked up, always stay hurt. So Carson and Penny, you really need to look at who's going to be there long term, whether you want to trade one of those guys, bring somebody in that's a little more durable, and stay, hopefully healthy throughout the season to give Russell Wilson some continuity in the run game and then shore up that offensive line. And I think he has decent enough weapons at the wide receiver position to get the job done. So Russell Wilson, I hope you get some help at those two positions and we see you come back and again, this time hopefully compete, stay in the MVP running and get an MVP. You're one of the dudes that, in my opinion, really deserves it, plays well, does everything right on and off the field. So this week was the end of your week and you can go on vacation and get back to the drawing board. Hopefully your GM gets back to the drawing board and gets you some help as well. All right? And then, boom, here we go. I called it. The number one upset of the weekend, the Cleveland Browns. Well, not an upset in my mind because I called it. I think the only two people that I saw to pick the Browns was me and, oh my goodness, what's the guy's name? Me and the other guy from CBS. I can't remember his name right now. But other than Browns fans, Rodney Harrison. So other than Browns fans, me and Rodney Harrison, I think we're the only people who picked the Browns to win. So, the Browns beating, let me look at my notes here. The Browns, first and foremost, just manhandle the Steelers. And they won 48-37. You just can't win with mystique and coach speak. I say that again. You cannot win with mystique and coach speak. And that has been what the Steelers have been thriving on and getting by on for the past 6 to 7 years, in my opinion. We always look at their draft, look at their positions, look at who they have on the field, and talking heads and everybody always put them as their Super Bowl contender, their Super Bowl dark horse, blah, 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 blah. Not me. I think we've underachieved under Tomlin's reign. We had Le'Veon Bell, Big Ben, and Antonio Brown. Defense has always been good. Cornerbacks very suspect. Running game here and there. Gone. Here, gone. So I'm really, really tired of saying this. And people don't understand. And, oh, well, you're a Steeler fan. I just keep it real. Tomlin won with Cowher's team, and ever since then, we've been on this slow decline. And people just fail to see it. We just creeping. We got no backup quarterback, so if Ben calls it quits, we got Mason Rudolph and Joshua Dobbs. If I was Tomlin during that game, I would have contemplated benching him, bringing in Joshua Dobbs, and try some RPO action, try something different. I don't know, something. Take him out, let him get his head space right, or I don't know what the hell is going on. But he won with Cowher's team, hasn't really done anything since, and we praise him for being such a fantastic coach. So, but listen to me, Steeler fans. I want you to listen very closely. And I'm a Steeler fan, but I don't do this. You guys are definitely close, like this close, to being in the same category as those delusional Dallas Cowboy fans. Stop it. We've sucked for years. We've gotten by on mystique and coach speak. We've been lucky to have all of those winning seasons back to back. Tomlin gets the benefit of the doubt coming into a stable organization like the Steelers, coming into a great situation with a top 10 quarterback. Some say Hall of Fame. He would, in my opinion, barely squeak in. Come into the organization, you don't have to worry about building anything from scratch. You got a great defense. You got Dick LeBeau there. You got Bruce Arians there. You got all those guys there. You got a fantastic culture. And you can only squeak out one Super Bowl. If it wasn't for James Harrison's 101-yard interception, we would have lost to Arizona too. So to me, Tomlin is Marvin Lewis with a Super Bowl ring. Winning through the regular season, lose. Winning through the regular season, lose. Winning through the regular season, lose. Tell me if I'm wrong. Hit me up. Comment. I'm here. We can talk about it. But we can debate it till the cows come home. But you won't change my mind because he's underachieved. You can say, oh, I take him. And you can underachieve too. So, with all that talent, with him just being such a fantastic coach, but let's break it down, and then I'm going to go into the game specifically here in a second. So what makes him such a great coach? He's not a defensive guy, and he hasn't put his spin on the defensive side of the ball. Our cornerbacks remain to be trash. That was his forte when he was at Tampa Bay and Minnesota. And then he's not an offensive guru. We got these horrible guys coaching the offense and defense with these trash bubble screens and 3 yards out and 5 yards out, and having been throw 50 something, 40 to 35, 35 to 50 times a game. That's garbage. They need to get back to physical, dominating football. We've lost all our physicality because all you do is 3-step drop. You get in a quick pass, protection, stance. And those guys probably forgot how to run block and how to be physical because you're throwing the ball around the field 35, 45, 55 times. No. You see what the Browns did? Physical. Pulling the guards around. Trap blocking. Getting Chubb and Hunt up the field. Bruising. Killing them guys. That's what we need to get back to. If I was a general manager of Pittsburgh Steelers, if the running back for Alabama is still around when we have the first pick, that's who I would get. I get that dude out of Alabama. He's stocky. He's short. Reminds me of like Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Nice little. He's not tall and lanky, like Le'Veon Bell or Marvin Gordon or a back like that. He's a ground and pound dude. Get that dude, have Connor come in on third down, have him move the chains, come out of the backfield, stuff like that, give him a rest, give him a blow, whatever. Connor doesn't have breakaway lightning speed, so we need somebody that will be able to break contain and have an explosive play and get you all the way to the end zone or 40, 50, 60 yards. Connor's not that guy. I'm sorry. I like him. Love his story. Seems to be an amazing person. I liked him when he was at Pittsburgh. I wanted them to draft him. They did. Again, great story. Phenomenal guy. He's not the fit. So we need to look at Ben Roethlisberger replacement and a running back. And because we got good defensive pieces, we can always draft good at wide receiver, outside linebacker, D-line, and safety. We finally traded for some guys. Fitzpatrick from Miami. Can never get the cornerback right. How is that? Like, you're a cornerback guy. You're able to recognize talent and coach up talent, but you can never draft anybody. All right. So let's dive deeper into the actual game, or not the game, but let's examine the season. And we were never supposed to be 11-0. So everyone, we're 11-0. Why you not happy? Why you not happy? They doing it with smoke and mirrors. Yes, you only play the teams that's on your schedule. But they were skirting by, and they've been playing down to their competition for years and years and years. That's not good coaching. You come out flat and play down to your competition. You don't see Alabama playing down to their competition. So, 5-game winning streak to start the season off. And then heading into the game with the Titans. Our defense was all intact. They were playing well, the Titans and us. And we skirted out of that game by Tennessee missing a field goal. That should have been 5-1. The next game, they played the Ravens. They barely beat the Ravens as well. Follow that up with the Cowboy game, with them on their third quarterback or whatever it was at the time. and we playing down to the competition again because we have a terrible offensive scheme. We cannot run the ball. Bubble screen here, bubble screen there, garbage, garbage, garbage. And to fight back to beat a sorry, terrible Dallas team, which we shouldn't have even been in that situation, but we just got a horrible offensive scheme. So that should have been 5-3 right there. Then we follow that up by playing two terrible teams in the Bengals and the Jags. We won those games, but we still couldn't run the ball, even in those games. So why didn't Tomlin figure out a way to get the run game going? All season long, 11-0, we still can't run the ball. No dominating performances by just running the ball. You see Kansas City, when they were put in a situation where they were like, okay, we're going to have like a 3 or 4 man front. We're going to drop everybody back. We're going to play nickel. You're not going to beat us with these explosive plays. What'd they do? They just run the ball down your throat. But we can't run the ball, and then all we can do is 5-yard bubble screens and the occasional, chunk play down the field. Horrible. So then we limp our way into the playoffs. We play Washington 11-0. They smack us around. Again, we cannot win on mystique and coach speak, the nameless gray faces. No. You're playing another football team. All of them are professionals. We respect them. We're going to go out. We're going to execute our game plan to the best of our ability. Let the chips fall where they may. And then hopefully we're on the winning side. I feel as though we got a good game plan. Talk like that. Oh, the nameless gray face. Disrespecting people. Very disrespectful. And then got smacked around by Washington. Lose another couple games. And then win against the Colts barely. And then the last game of the season, we're playing the Browns. We already got everything locked up going into the, playoffs. And then you play your division foe, the Cleveland Browns. You have the audacity, instead of playing to win and knock them out of the playoffs, so you don't have to see them and they're a running game and they got a pretty good defense and really good weapons on the offensive side. Jarvis Landry, Peoples-Jones, a couple other receivers. You got a two-headed monster in the backfield. Baker Mayfield playing good ball. And you have the audacity to not play your starters and want to put them out of their misery. You're supposed to want to choke the life out of them. They barely there. And you just let them. Oh, we're going to rest our guys and be ready to play you guys. You gave them too much confidence. And now it came back to bite you in the butt this weekend. Put them out their misery. That's all you got to do. Just put them out their misery. Let the chips fall where they may. You played Baltimore twice this year. If that was the matchup, just go into it. Look, boom. Guns are blazing. We're going to go in. We're going to try to get the run game click. We're going to try to get clicking on offense. No. You go out there, y'all raggedy and rusty. Mason Rudolph playing terrible. And then that's how you played yesterday. Terrible. You might as well let Mason Rudolph start. He might have played better. But that last game was the time to get into rhythm, not rest on your laurels and think that, they're going to come in here and they're the same old Browns, the nameless gray faces. That's why they came out and punched you right in the mouth, capitalized on your mistakes, and you're going fishing. Pack your bags, pack your lockers, go fishing. You got exactly what you deserve, Steelers. Exactly what you deserved. So I bet they're no longer the nameless gray faces anymore. Where's all the dancing juju? Like, TikTok. Get out of here. Be professional. Just call it what it is. Hey, ex-football team is a good football team. We just want to go out here and execute to the best of our ability, play a clean game, not have any turnovers, and come out with a victory. Just say that. Put some weird-ass commentation, the nameless gray faces. Okay. Yeah, coach speak. See where it's getting you on that coach speak garbage. So, Tomlin's a great soundbite, and he's probably maybe a relationship guy. I don't need that. I don't want that. I'd rather a guy who's just very diminutive in him talking to the media, like Todd Bowles. He's very like, look, it is what it is, blah, 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 blah. He's not trying to come up with some quick, smart thing to say, some funny thing to say, and enough with the soundbite stuff. It ain't getting the job done. It hadn't got the job done for a long, long, long time. So Randy Fichtner is not the answer as offensive coordinator. Keith Butler is not the answer at defensive coordinator. Should have never let Dick LeBeau go. I don't know if those guys learned anything, but don't seem like they learned anything from him while he was there. And again, I really don't think Mike Tomlin is the answer at head coach. Fire them all. Start looking for a new quarterback to replace Ben this coming year or the following year, because Mason Rudolph's not the answer. Joshua Dodds, I don't think, is the answer. So here's something. Maybe acquire Deshaun Watson from Houston, since he's a little disgruntled and they may be looking to get rid of him. Don't waste Claypool's talent. Don't waste Juju Smith-Schuster's talent. Don't waste those guys on the defensive side of the ball's talent.